In every era of human history, there are moments when technology quietly shifts the direction of the future. Sometimes these changes happen slowly, almost invisibly, until one day the world suddenly realizes that everything has transformed. Dear Seeker, today we stand at one of those moments. Over the past few years, artificial intelligence has moved from research laboratories into our everyday lives. Tools that once seemed futuristic, machines that can write, analyze, design, and even reason, are now becoming part of the software we use daily. At the center of this transformation are a few powerful technology companies racing to build the most advanced AI systems ever created. Among these giants, two names stand out in particular: Google and Microsoft. Microsoft captured global attention through its partnership with OpenAI and the rapid integration of AI into products like Word, Excel, and Teams through what we now know as Copilot. For a while, it appeared that Microsoft had taken a commanding lead in the AI revolution. But technology is rarely a straight road. Recently, Google introduced major updates to its Gemini artificial intelligence models. Updates so significant that they immediately sparked discussions across the tech world. Gemini is not simply another chatbot or assistant. It represents Google's vision of a deeply integrated intelligence layer, one that can understand text, images, code, and complex problems while working seamlessly across Google's ecosystem. For many analysts and industry experts, this moment signals something much bigger than a product release. It marks the beginning of a powerful new phase in the AI race, a phase where innovation, strategy, and technological philosophy collide. So in this video, let us explore together what makes the new Gemini update so powerful, why it has captured the attention of the entire industry, and what it might mean for the future of artificial intelligence, and for all of us who are witnessing this extraordinary technological awakening. Let us begin our journey by understanding the event that sparked so much conversation across the technology world: Google's latest update to its Gemini artificial intelligence system. To truly appreciate why this update matters, we must first understand what Gemini represents. Gemini is Google's flagship family of AI models, developed to handle complex reasoning, multimodal understanding, and advanced problem-solving. Unlike earlier AI systems that focused primarily on generating text, Gemini is designed to work across many forms of information, including language, images, data, and computer code. In simple terms, it is an attempt to build an AI system that can think more broadly and interact with knowledge in a more human-like way. The newest Gemini update introduced several major improvements that immediately caught the attention of researchers, developers, and technology leaders. One of the most important upgrades is the model's enhanced reasoning ability. Instead of simply predicting the next word in a sentence, the updated system can break down complicated questions, analyze different steps, and produce answers that reflect deeper logical thinking. Another remarkable aspect of this update is how deeply Gemini is being integrated across Google's products. Rather than existing as a standalone chatbot, Gemini now functions as an intelligent assistant embedded directly into widely used tools such as Gmail, Google Docs, Google Sheets, and the Chrome browser. Imagine drafting an email where the AI helps refine your ideas, or opening a document where the assistant can instantly summarize information, generate structured reports, or even help brainstorm creative concepts. What makes this particularly significant is scale. Billions of people already use Google services every day. By weaving Gemini into these platforms, Google is effectively placing advanced AI into the hands of everyday users around the world. In many ways, this update signals a fundamental shift. Artificial intelligence is no longer a separate tool we occasionally visit. Instead, it is gradually becoming a constant companion, quietly present inside the digital environments where we work, learn, and create. Now that we understand the importance of the Gemini update itself, the next step in our exploration is to understand the deeper vision guiding Google's strategy. Because what we are witnessing is not simply a technological improvement, it is the unfolding of a long-term philosophy about the future of computing. For many years, Google has operated under a principle often described as being AI first. This idea was first articulated by Google leadership when they realized that artificial intelligence would eventually become the central engine powering nearly every digital experience. Instead of treating AI as an optional feature, the company began designing its entire technological ecosystem around intelligent systems. Gemini is the latest and perhaps the most powerful expression of that philosophy. Rather than building a single AI application, Google is embedding Gemini across multiple layers of its digital universe. This includes consumer products such as Google Search, Gmail, and Android devices, as well as enterprise platforms like Google Workspace and Google Cloud. By doing this, Google is transforming AI from a standalone assistant into an underlying intelligence layer that quietly supports nearly every task a user performs. To better understand this strategy, it is helpful to reflect on ideas discussed in influential technology and business books such as Platform Revolution and The Innovator's Dilemma. These works explain that the most dominant technology companies rarely succeed because of a single product. Instead, their power comes from building interconnected platforms that create powerful ecosystems. Google appears to be applying exactly this principle with Gemini. When AI becomes integrated into search, productivity tools, mobile devices, and cloud infrastructure all at once, it creates a network effect that is extremely difficult for competitors to replicate. From this perspective, Gemini is not merely a chatbot competing with other AI assistants. It is the foundation of a much larger ecosystem, one designed to reshape how people discover information, create knowledge, and interact with technology in the years ahead. Understanding this strategic vision helps us see why the recent Gemini update has captured so much attention across the industry. It represents not just progress in artificial intelligence, but a glimpse into how the next generation of digital platforms may be built. Having explored Google's strategic vision, we now arrive at an important question that many observers across the technology world are asking. Why has this Gemini update created such pressure for Microsoft? To understand this, we must briefly look back at the events that shaped the recent AI landscape. When Microsoft partnered with OpenAI and introduced AI capabilities into its productivity software through what is now widely known as Copilot, the company gained a significant early advantage. Tools like Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Teams suddenly became far more powerful because AI could assist users in writing documents, analyzing data, preparing presentations, and summarizing meetings. For businesses and organizations already deeply embedded within the Microsoft ecosystem, this felt like a natural and powerful evolution. Microsoft was able to integrate AI directly into workflows that millions of professionals relied upon every day. As a result, many analysts believed Microsoft had taken the leading position in the race to commercialize artificial intelligence. However, the latest developments around Gemini have changed the competitive landscape. Google's strategy challenges Microsoft from a different angle. While Microsoft focused heavily on enterprise productivity and workplace collaboration, Google is emphasizing deep reasoning capabilities and multimodal intelligence. Gemini is designed to process not only text, but also images, data structures, and complex problem-solving tasks in a unified system. Additionally, Google possesses one advantage that few companies can match: the scale of its consumer ecosystem. Billions of people already rely on Google Search, Gmail, Android devices, YouTube, and Chrome. By integrating Gemini across these platforms, Google can introduce advanced AI capabilities to an enormous global user base almost instantly. In this sense, the competition between Google and Microsoft is not simply about which AI model is more powerful. It is about two different technological philosophies. Microsoft is building an AI assistant deeply embedded in professional productivity tools. Google, on the other hand, is attempting to create an AI system that becomes a universal layer of intelligence across the entire internet experience. This difference in approach is precisely why the Gemini update has captured so much attention. It signals that the race for AI leadership is far from decided, and the coming years may reveal an intense competition between these two technological giants. As we continue our exploration, it becomes clear that the developments we are witnessing are not simply about individual products like Gemini or Copilot. What is unfolding before us is something much larger, a technological rivalry that many analysts now describe as an ecosystem war. Throughout the history of technology, the most transformative shifts have often emerged when powerful platforms compete to define the rules of a new digital era. Consider the past decades. The rivalry between Windows and Mac shaped personal computing, Android and iOS transformed the smartphone industry, and cloud platforms such as AWS and Azure redefined how businesses build digital infrastructure. Today, artificial intelligence has become the new frontier where this pattern is repeating itself. On one side, we see the rapidly expanding ecosystem formed by Microsoft and its partnership with OpenAI. Through services like Microsoft Copilot, Azure AI, and developer tools integrated into platforms such as GitHub, Microsoft is creating a powerful environment where businesses can adopt AI directly within their existing workflows. On the other side stands Google with its Gemini ecosystem. By embedding Gemini into Google Search, workspace applications, Android devices, and cloud services, Google is building a different kind of intelligent platform, one that connects billions of users, developers, and organizations through a unified AI infrastructure. What makes this competition particularly fascinating is that both ecosystems are evolving simultaneously. Developers must decide which tools and AI models they want to build upon. Businesses must consider which platforms best support their productivity and innovation goals. Even everyday users will gradually find themselves interacting with one ecosystem more than the other. In influential books such as Platform Revolution, scholars explain that once platform ecosystems mature, they tend to create powerful network effects. The more developers, users, and organizations participate in a platform, the stronger and more valuable that ecosystem becomes. This is precisely why the competition between Google and Microsoft has become so significant. The company that succeeds in establishing the dominant AI ecosystem may ultimately shape how knowledge is created, shared, and utilized across the digital world. And in that sense, the current moment represents not just a technological race, but the formation of the very platforms that may define the next generation of human innovation. Now that we have explored the technological competition between these powerful ecosystems, it is important to pause and reflect on a deeper question. What does all of this mean for individuals, creators, developers, and businesses around the world? The rise of advanced AI systems such as Gemini and Copilot is not simply a story about large technology companies. It is a transformation that will gradually influence how people work, learn, create, and solve problems in nearly every field. For content creators, artificial intelligence is becoming an incredibly powerful creative partner. AI tools can assist with generating ideas, drafting scripts, designing visuals, and even analyzing audience engagement patterns. Instead of replacing creativity, these systems often act as catalysts that help creators move from concept to execution much faster than before. For developers and engineers, the impact may be even more profound. Modern AI models can help write code, detect errors, explain complex programming concepts, and accelerate the development process. Tasks that once required hours of manual effort can now be completed with the assistance of intelligent systems that understand programming logic and patterns. Businesses, too, are beginning to recognize the potential of these technologies. AI-powered tools can analyze vast amounts of data, generate business reports, automate repetitive administrative tasks, and provide insights that support strategic decision-making. This allows organizations to focus more energy on innovation, creativity, and long-term planning rather than routine operational work. Many thinkers in the field of artificial intelligence, including those discussed in books such as AI Superpowers by Kai-Fu Lee and Life 3.0 by Max Tegmark, suggest that the future will not be defined by machines replacing humans entirely. Instead, the most powerful outcomes will emerge when humans and AI systems collaborate. In this collaborative model, humans contribute intuition, ethical judgment, and creativity, while AI contributes speed, analytical power, and the ability to process enormous amounts of information. When these strengths come together, entirely new forms of productivity and innovation become possible. And that, dear seeker, may be the most important lesson of this technological moment. Artificial intelligence is not simply a tool we use. It is gradually becoming a partner that expands the boundaries of what human beings can accomplish. As we reach the final stage of our exploration, it is natural to ask one final and profound question. Where is all of this leading? If the current developments around Gemini, Copilot, and advanced AI models represent only the beginning, what might the future of artificial intelligence actually look like? Many researchers and technology leaders believe we are still in the early chapters of the AI revolution. The systems we see today are powerful, but they are only the first generation of a much broader transformation that will unfold over the coming decades. One major direction is the rise of multimodal intelligence. Earlier AI systems were limited to processing one type of information at a time, such as text or images. However, modern models like Gemini are designed to understand multiple forms of data simultaneously. This means that future AI systems will be able to analyze documents, images, videos, audio, and complex datasets together, creating a much richer understanding of the world. Another important development is the emergence of what experts call agentic AI. Instead of simply answering questions or generating responses, these systems will be capable of performing complex tasks on behalf of users. Imagine an AI that can organize projects, conduct research, plan travel, coordinate schedules, and even manage certain aspects of business operations. In such a future, AI will function less like a tool and more like a highly capable digital collaborator. A third trend is the gradual embedding of intelligence into everyday technology. Artificial intelligence will increasingly operate behind the scenes in devices and platforms we already use: phones, browsers, vehicles, smart homes, and workplace software. Rather than opening a separate application to interact with AI, people will experience intelligent assistants seamlessly woven into their daily digital environments. Writers and thinkers who explore the long-term future of AI often suggest that we are witnessing the birth of a new kind of technological infrastructure, one that could become as fundamental as electricity or the internet itself. If that vision proves accurate, the developments we see today, including the competition between companies like Google and Microsoft, may one day be remembered as the early steps in humanity's transition toward a world where intelligence, both human and artificial, works together to solve problems, create knowledge, and shape the future. Dear seeker, as we reach the end of this exploration, it is worth pausing for a moment to reflect on the journey we have taken together. What began as a discussion about a single technology update has revealed something far greater. The developments surrounding Google's Gemini and the ongoing advancements from Microsoft and other innovators are not merely corporate announcements or product launches. They represent the unfolding of a new technological chapter in human history. Throughout the past century, humanity has experienced several transformative revolutions. Electricity reshaped industries and cities. The internet connected people and knowledge across the globe. Smartphones placed powerful computing devices into the hands of billions. Now, artificial intelligence is emerging as the next great shift, one that has the potential to redefine how we think, create, communicate, and solve complex problems. The competition between technology leaders such as Google and Microsoft is accelerating this transformation.